You're looking live at our state capitol, surrounded by protesters this noon. Those descending on Lansing are upset with the governor's executive orders that have forced many businesses to close. Those executive orders are designed to slow the spread of coronavirus, a disease that so far has killed 1,768 people in Michigan and more than 26,000 people across the country. Thank you for joining us today at noon, and we are certainly in for a wild day in our state. Our team is here to bring it to you live. Our crews are trying to stay safe while also showing you what's happening in our state capitol today. Political reporter Rick Albin kicks off our team coverage from Lansing right now. Rick?
Well, Emily, there are a lot of cars, as you can tell, and they have been here since very early this morning. In fact, when I got here a little before 9, people had already taken parking spaces all the way around the Capitol. Then by 11 o'clock this morning, the place was filled. All these lanes were filled with cars, and they just stopped. They stopped at the corner of Allegan and Capitol and just didn't move. Organizers finally came along and moved part of this line along, but they went about a block and they stopped again. So effectively, nobody has moved out of those lanes of traffic or on Allegan Street in the last hour or so. I looked all the way down Capitol and all the way down Michigan. As far as you can see, there are cars, but they're not going to get anywhere until some of these folks start moving. I've seen no police presence to move them along. As I say, some of the organizers did move that first group down, but they went down about a block and then they stopped. All of this is in response, as you pointed out, to the governor's orders. Pardon me, I'm trying to get used to the new normal. All of this in response to the governor's orders for people to stay at home. And there are all kinds of signs on cars that talk about liberty and being locked down and quarantined and I need to work. Earlier today, the governor was on the Today Show and she talked about those orders.
Michigan has the third most COVID-19 cases in the nation right now, and we are not the third largest state in the nation. That tells you we've got a unique crisis on our hands and that it demands a unique solution. So we just had snow. I've got snow on the ground here in Michigan right now in Lansing. We're expecting, up to 30 inches in the Upper Peninsula. The fact that we're cracking down on people traveling between homes or planting or landscaping or golfing really for a couple more weeks isn't going to meaningfully impact people's ability to do it because the snow will do that in and of itself. But the more people that are traveling, the more people that touch that gas pump, we know that COVID-19 can last for 72 hours on stainless steel. So think about the people that have to touch that gas pump, the nurses and the police and the paramedics and the pharmacists and the food clerks that are the true superheroes now. If we're all traveling and touching the same, that means we're spreading COVID-19 and might actually take people off the front line who we desperately need to. So unless it's a life-sustaining activity, we're asking people to stay home, to do their part, and for a couple more weeks to really buckle down. We're seeing our curve start to flatten, but we all have to continue doing our part.
So the governor, while she wants people to stay at home, is looking out the window if she's in her office at this crowd of people who have come out here today to protest those very orders. Now, we anticipate this is going to go on for the next hour or so, but at some point I also anticipate that these vehicles are going to be told to move along because, as I say, they're just setting at stoplights here at the corner of Allegan and Capitol, and there are cars backed up presumably for miles down Michigan and Capitol. We'll continue to stay here and cover with our team coverage live in Lansing. Rick Albin, News 8.
Okay, Rick. Thank you for that. We're going to go now to Heather Walker. She's also in Lansing, continuing our team coverage. Heather, what are you seeing?
Operation Gridlock is underway, and we are in the middle of it. Take a look. We've got 3 lanes of traffic right now on Capitol. In front of the Capitol, people have lined up in their cars. They've come from all over the state, upset with the governor and the stay-at-home order. They say that they're ready for this order to be lifted. They want to get back to work. They want to get back to doing things that they love, like fishing and golfing. We saw a couple people who had boats. And take a look, the number of people goes down the block. People have been honking and gathering since about 9 o'clock this morning. The official protest just getting underway here. And basically what people are saying when we stop and talk to them is that they think that people are smart enough to make their own decisions to stay safe during this coronavirus outbreak without being told what to do. Ma'am, can you tell me, why did you come out here today?
representative from the 102nd District, and I'm just here to support my people. I have a lot of constituents down here right now.
And what are your constituents telling you?
Pardon?
What are your constituents telling you?
They want to go back to work. If they can't access the website to get the benefits, then they want to go back to work. And nobody's suggesting we just go willy-nilly go back to work. We're recommending we adapt to the size of federal guidelines and do it safely.
Thank you. Yeah, that is the message that we keep hearing over and over from different people. We talked to a landscaper from our area. We talked to a woman who does detailing in the Hudsonville area. All of them without work right now. They say they need to put food on the table. They've got to pay their bills, and they want the governor to reopen their businesses, allow people to make safe decisions. And that's why they all gather here today, to make those voices heard. We're going to throw it back to you. For now, reporting live on Capitol Avenue, Heather Walker, News 8.
Okay, Heather, stay safe out there. Let's go to News 8's Leon Hendricks, also out there. He has boots on the ground at the state capitol. Leon, what are you seeing?
Another incredible sight in this surreal ordeal as we battle this coronavirus pandemic. The Capitol steps, the scene of a protest. The whole idea here was that folks would stay in their car and participate in this gridlock, but we've seen a lot of folks who are saying they're not doing that. They're here, they're on the Capitol steps, staging a more traditional protest here in front of the Capitol building in Lansing. I want to show you one of the larger displays here, a huge sign that is out in the Capitol lawn. It says, "Security without liberty is called prison." An analogy they're using here to the situation that we have at present with the coronavirus lockdown. We're going to walk up here and give you an idea of the feel some of these people have. There are a number of people here from West Michigan, including some of these folks here that we got a chance to meet earlier today. First of all, tell us your name and what brought you out here.
My name is Joseph Dixon, and I came out here to support the Michigan businesses and stand up for the rights of our fellow Michiganders. And we believe that the governor has overreached and overstepped her rights with our freedoms.
Are you concerned about this virus?
I was in the beginning until I've done my research and found out the realities and the media's overreach on it, and that it's not as serious as they made it out to be. And that's why I am here, because I feel that they are overreaching, overreacting, and crushing our small businesses, crushing our economy.
I see you're wearing a mask, so you appear to have some level of concern.
Yes, well, I have concern. I have just common courtesy for people. I might be here today, I might be a Republican, but I have common sense, and I do have concern and respect for everybody.
What would you say to the governor if she's listening right now?
I would say, Governor, open our economy on May 1st and respect our rights and our freedoms.
All right, that's a little bit of the sentiment we're hearing here. A lot of these folks, a number of them that we've spoken to, are small business owners, or are here on behalf of those folks who say simply they want to see people get back to work. Some more folks here that we might be able to speak with. Sir, what brought you out here? Where are you from?
I'm from Jackson, Michigan. And what brought me out here is I'm a small business owner, and she's putting me out of business.
What type of business do you own?
I own a painting company.
What would be your message if the governor is listening?
To listen to the people. We have common sense. We're not children. We know what's right and what's wrong and how to take care of ourselves. I've had a quadruple bypass. I've had a heart attack, a stroke, and I'm still not afraid to go out in public. It's how you take care of yourself. We're not, like I said, we're not her children.
Do you have any concern at all about this virus? You said you've got some underlying conditions.
I have concerns about it. I have concerns for the people that are, I'm 62, but I call them elderly, sickly, really bad underlying conditions. But if you take care of yourself and follow common sense, stay away from people, you know, not totally stay away, but you have to social distance a little bit, But until this virus runs its course, it's going to stay here. And all we're doing is hiding from it.
Do you have any concern? We've seen a lot of people out here that are obviously, like you, not in your cars. Do you have any concern that this gathering might cause this virus to spread further?
Hell yeah.
It will a little, but I don't think it's to the extent that they're trying to make it out to be. Again, it's a virus. It's got to spread. And until people start getting an immune system to it, it's going to continue to do this.
All right.
And we will never get away from it until we get an immunity to it.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
All the way from Jackson, one of the small business owners who is here and represented in a crowd of hundreds of people who are gathered here on the Capitol steps. A number of them have signs. One here in the foreground says, "Recall Whitmer now." We see a number of American flags. A lot of those red "Make America Great Again" hats. Folks certainly having a political feeling that goes associated with this situation. But it's quite the sight here on the Capitol steps. It's cold, it has been snowy, but it's not tempered down the spirit and the feeling that these folks have about letting their voices be heard in opposition to the governor's executive orders connected to the coronavirus. Emily?
Leon Hendricks in Lansing. We will be checking back in with Leon and Heather and Rick again. And our team coverage continues right now. Tom Hillett is working to give us some perspective on just how many drivers are descending on Lansing right now. Tom?
Hey, good afternoon, Emily. We're going to take a look at the map of Lansing, which really can give us some data that we can see how far this traffic is backing up. So you can see this is the main thoroughfare into downtown Lansing, 496, and that right now completely jammed up with cars. Unfortunately, we do not have available any MDOT cameras in this area, so we can't show you what it actually looks like right there. But you can also see these red and yellow lines of gridlock completely surrounding almost a mile in any direction that Capitol area. And unfortunately, again, we don't get any data coming in from the smaller streets in and around the Capitol where we've seen Rick, Leon, and Heather. But you can see that the gridlock is spreading far out and wide and continuing to slowly start to back up the highway heading into downtown Lansing. Of course, we'll continue to track this and we'll update you again at 12:30. Emily?